So, here is the topic. Today we will discuss about higher order function. What is an higher order function and how we use higher order function, and also how we can optimize our code and in interview aspect and some other aspect also. So we will see in this lecture how we can use higher order function to optimize our code. So let's get started. So basically higher functions हमारे हैं a function which take another function as an argument or return a function is known as a higher order function. I repeat myself, a function which take another function as an argument or return a function is known as higher order function. So what is meant basically when a function take input as another function or a function return as another function are known as they both known as higher order function. In both the cases, we have two types of implementation. In first one, we have passed the function as an argument to the another function, and in second one, we have returning a function from the another function. So here, they both of the cases we have are in higher order functions. So you got an idea how what is a higher order function is, and for better understanding, we will move forward to the coding portion, and we will look forward why we use this function and what is the need we using this function. Also, we can see how we optimize our code using this function and what is the purpose why we using this function. We will see in the coding portion. So for understanding higher function, we have taken an example in which we have to find the area of a circle and the circumference of the circle so that we get an idea how to use higher order function and what's the beauty of this higher order function is. So firstly we have to create a file that is example.js. Okay. So for now we have to create a function in which we have to find the area of the circle. So that firstly we have to do one thing, we have create a radius in which we have passed the parameter like 7, 8, 3, 4, yeah, that's enough. And now we have create a function that is const calculate area, and in which we have passed function and in which we have passed the radius of the circle. And now we have to do one thing, that is we have to create an output array so that we can store our area. So create const output array, that's empty array. So we just don't need to put anything because we have stored our area. For now we have create an empty array, and now create a loop that is let I is equals to 0, and we have to run I the length of the radius, so we can do radius dot length and then I plus plus. And what we can do in this loop, we have to use the formula of the area and push in the output. So we can do one thing, output dot push, and what's the area of this circle, that is nothing but pi r square. So we have used math function for pi, and the radius of I, and the because we have radius square, so we have again write the radius of I, and we have to push in the output array. So let's for now we have to calculate the radius By the using of radius, we calculate the area of a circle, and now simply return the answer, return the output array. And now we have to print, so we use console.log and the calculate area of the radius. So we have done this thing, and we have one more thing we have to do, that is we have to find the circumference of the circle, because we have writing the same code, but we have to change this, the formula of this area to circumference, and the circumference formula is nothing but 2 pi r. So we have simply just copy this thing and paste it here. But first thing first, we have const create calculate circumference, which we have to pass radius, and now we have to paste the thing, and we have simply changed this formula to the according to our need, that is nothing but 2 and 2 pi r. Okay, I guess it's done. So एक बार प्रिंट कर लेते हैं, console.log calculate circumference radius. Let's run this code. It will give, okay, yeah, we get it. Okay, let's just run. Fine, but what we have think is we have given the one more thing, that is we have to find the diameter of this circle. So what we generally people do, they simply create one more function, that is const calculate diameter, in which we have passed the radius, and simply because we have to same this, we have to modify this formula only. That thing we have to do, we have just copy this thing and paste it here and change the formula for according to we need. We find the diameter, so that is 2 into radius, and we one more thing, we have print that thing, console.log let's run this thing. Okay, I forgot the semicolon. Diameter of the radius. Okay. Yeah. Now it's run fine. We have the area, circumference, and the diameter. Yeah. So one thing that you have noticed, that we have just copy and paste the thing, and in this approach, interviewer may or may not be satisfied by you, because we have just copy and pasting. In the software industry, we have dry principle. Dry principle is the thing, do not repeat yourself. We have always repeat the function, calculate circumference and diameter. We have just copy and pasting. We have to build the logic and optimize way in which we have to create a generic formula or the generic function. We have simply pass the function, pass the values, get the output. So we have to write the functions like that. We have to be generic, be specific. So for now, we write our generic code. Let's see how we can optimize. Firstly, we have do one thing, that is we have to commit this, and now we have built the logic, and like that we have to find the our a single function that solve our problem, and it gives our output. So we create a const calculate we create a function calculate, that is in which we have function, we have passed the radius, and we have one more thing, the pass, that is a logic, like we have we have the C. In these functions we have the one thing that is we have different, that is the formula of this area and the circumference and the radius. We have to pass as a logic, this formula we have passed as a logic in the function, that we have optimized our code, help to optimize our code. So we find a logic, we have to create a array that store our output, and that is empty, and you know why we are using the empty array, and simply using a for loop, let I equal to 0, and I will be run from ps.length like previous one, and I plus plus, and now we have to write the approach in which have to implement the logic portion, passing the logic as well as the radius. So what we can do is we can output dot push, and simply we have to do logic, and in which we have to pass the radius of I, and that's it. We have written our output. We have passing the radius of I as the parameter of the logic. Logic is nothing but the like a formula we have to put in the several cases, like of we finding the area and the circumference and the diameter. So logic is nothing but the formula of the function. So for now we have done this thing, and now we have simply do one thing, that is const area for finding the area. We have simply do one thing, passing the radius. We have simply written the math.py into the radius. Yeah, that's it. And we have another function, that is circumference. For that, const circumference radius, and in which we have to simply return the return math.py radius, return into math.py, so the radius, and one we are finding the area and the circumference, and let's do for diameter also, diameter, we have written So for now we have to print this thing those for that console load. If you pass the radius and the area of the circle and we have the similar thing, so we have just changed the area to the circumference and the diameter. Yeah, that's about it. Let's run this thing. We get him. Okay, so what's the difference between the previous one and the current one? So here is the code of my previous one. Let me okay, here is the code previous one in which we have create these three function in which we have the same thing, but we have to write the different formula so that we have create three function. And for now in the current one we have just create one function, that is calculate, in which we have passed the radius as well as the logic. And logic is nothing but the formula we have to finding the diameter and circumference of the circle. And yeah, in this if you given a technical interview, so that interview want to maybe write your code like this manner, in which we have to pass the function in a generic way, and you simply do a one thing for a function, that is you need to return this radius or the area of a circle, and you have to reuse your calculate function in a number of times. So that is the generic code you have to write in interview. So interview would be expected like that. The calculate function has higher priority and this area and diameters are less. Yeah, that's all about it. Thank you and have a nice day.